Like I said with the kiddos earlier, I notice something new every time I read the Christmas story. This year I noticed those who were included in the first Christmas. And those who were included show how God's love is outside of the box. Acknowledging the box deems the limited few who are worthy, and that is constructed by humans. But the characters in the Christmas story and many others were often overlooked, ignored, and taken advantage of by those in political power. Mary and Joseph were both common folks with common jobs. They were judged by others due to being unwed and expecting a baby. They were forced to travel at the worst possible time, right before giving birth, and they traveled in the least comfortable way, by donkey and foot. When they arrived, there was no comforts. There were no blankets, no hotel room, just hay and the comfort of smelly animals. They were probably also worried and scared, not just for their travels or the birth of their baby and their relationship, but also the pressures and oppression they felt from society. Something that has been going on for days, weeks, months, and years that they have been living with. Even without getting into the details of that political climate at the time, one might easily say things were hard. But they were chosen to care for Jesus, the light of the world. They cared for the hope, the peace, the joy, and the love of the world, even among the difficult times they were living in. When Jesus was born, God did not announce it to the national leaders. God told the shepherds. Shepherds who, like Mary and Joseph, were also common folk with common jobs. They were probably also worried and scared about their livelihoods, their health, their families, and their flock. I can imagine the shepherds watching over their sheep, sharing with each other their burdens, and sharing their understanding with each other and supporting one another each night. And they're out in the night, stars above, but heads always on a swivel, looking out for danger for them and their sheep. But the Christmas story is not as we often would expect, maybe even in today's times. God brought hope directly to the shepherds. In that moment when they may be scared and worried, they were given hope through the good news of Jesus' birth, the light, the hope, the love, and joy of Jesus. And then they shared it with others. They were the ones who received the news, where we may expect our national leaders to present big news, such as the birth of the Messiah. No, the shepherds, the ones in the fields, were the ones who got to share that good news. God's love reached outside the box, including those that the world often ignored. So this Christmas, you, like many, may not feel special. You may not have the job or house or family that you wanted. Maybe you feel like a shepherd in the night, head on a swivel. But the Christmas story reminds us that we all matter to God. And you can think about the ornaments that we're going to see decorate our tree soon. Our kiddos may have different ornaments. They may have the same ornaments, but they all colored them differently. And each kiddo approaches those ornaments, that task, with a different view, and each will be unique. And we, like the ornaments, in some way, are equally beautiful, unique, and loved by God and by each of us here. And each ornament is not only a representation of that child, but of God and how God's love is represented in each and every one of us. Christmas is a time to remember that God loves us as we are. Every person is treasured by God, is seen by God, is heard by God, and is loved by God. None of our mistakes separate us from God, and our circumstances don't define our status with God. Baby Jesus shows us that we are worthy, always. So as we celebrate Christmas, we remember that Jesus is the light of the world, and that light has no box to fit in or cover it up. And us today, we carry that light. And we share God's love with others and ourselves, just as Mary and Joseph and the shepherds did. And just as God shared the light with the world and those often overlooked, let us remember that the light that is freely given to us can be freely shared with others.